Now in this case, I'd like to show you how to export this as a transparent ping that then we can lay over any color or gradient in a design. So I have a design in mind. Here's a website with a gray gradient going from lighter gray to darker gray across the background. I'd like to texturize that gradient with my noise image. And so if I were to export this with transparency, I could lay it over my gradient and just use it to add texture to that gradient. In this case, if I turn off the gray background layer, what you'll see is that I actually have that noise still turned on, and when I lay that noise with transparency over the top of another color, I can just see that texture on top of it. Let's look at how that happens. So I'm going to this time turn off the background layer, go to File, Save for Web and Devices. This time select Ping 24. Now you can see the transparency through it. The file size is larger, but it's worth it in this case. So we're going to go with it. Save this out. I'm going to call it tilenoise.ping. Save. And then we can go to our file folder and see the result. And here it is right here. You can barely see that texture in there. Now if we move, as I've done, and copy this image over into our site folder, then we can do something neat with it. So I'm going to simply copy that new image, replace the old one with that. So I've got a copy of that new image there. And I'm going to go to the files that then control this site. You can see the smooth gray background. I'm going to edit my style sheet so that we can see that here on the HTML element I've got a background color of 999 for dumb browsers. For smart browsers, I've got the cool background gradient going from 999 to DDD, actually from DDD at the top to 999 at the bottom. Now in the body element, which is over the top of that, right now I don't have any background, and this is where I can add our new image. That's what I'm going to do now. So background image. Now I need to go outside of, well, first of all, URL, and then outside of the current folder into the images folder, get my image, make sure I spell the file name correctly, tilenoise.ping. That's going to automatically repeat, so that should be right there, the code that I need. Out of the styles folder into the images folder, get the file name tilenoise.ping, save. Let's see how this works. Refresh. There you go. You should be able to see that gradient now on top of the gray. I'm sorry, the texture on top of the gray gradient. It fills it to the bottom and does exactly what we want it to do. One more little fix though. You may have noticed that when I scrolled that texture disappeared from the bottom, so you can see it disappearing as I scroll down the page. What we need to do is fix the background on the body by removing this height of 100%. This makes the height of the background that we put on this body element just be 100% of the browser height. Instead of that, we'd like to remove that so that it extends all the way the length of the body. So I'm going to remove this line. We'll leave background attachment fixed so it won't scroll when we scroll down the page. So we'll leave that, but remove height of 100%. So save that. Now refresh. Now when I scroll down the page, the content of the body scrolls and the background image is extending where it should. There we go. That looks nice.